Diddy found guilty, y'all. Diddy found guilty, y'all. It's your boy, Coach One Stack, man, and you in for a ride, man. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man, and go ahead and let me give you this game because I have been giving it to you raw since this stuff started, unadulterated, just chilling. Can you dig it? But hey, man, here's the way that the jury works. The jury has to deliberate, and all of them have to agree on all the charges. There are 5 charges. Can you dig what I'm saying? So now, when the jury has reached a verdict, they pass a note, and that note is given to the judge to read. Now, when the jury passed that note to the judge, it has said that they could not come to a decision on count 1. Okay? So that means the Rico charge, they're undecided on that, so they have to go back and deliberate. But the other 4 charges, the sex trafficking, oh, he's done. Guilty. Guilty unanimously from a jury of 12 of his peers, y'all. P. Diddy is going to the pen. He is going to the penitentiary. And if they run those counts bow-legged, which means bow-legged means consecutively, which means you would have to serve out 1 sentence, get paroled to the 2nd sentence, then get paroled to the 3rd, then the 4th, and possibly the 5th. That's what bow-legged means. So now, when the jury, when that note was delivered and that was read out loud, P. Diddy has had the worst posture since this trial. So they say, because we can't see it. They said he slumped down in his seat. He covered his face. He's shaking his head. See, that's because for them to come back unanimously on 4 counts, that means that those are guilty charges. And for them to be divided on that last one, they can't figure it out. But let me break this Rico thing down to y'all, because I've been telling y'all from day one about this Rico charge. The Rico charge is when 2 or more people, man, they have a criminal enterprise, and the illegal things that they are doing are to further that criminal enterprise. And how does this apply to Puffy? Let me give you a very, very simple example, y'all. Because like I said, you're dealing with somebody that was in law enforcement, right? And the streets. Okay, now, here's the Rico, right here, all in a nutshell. And you've seen it. You ain't got to see the court case. When Puffy has had other people, okay, get his illegal substances, right? Or even his prostitutes, right? And transport these substances across state lines. Like, they pay for it with their own money. They bring it across state lines. He now reimbursed them for what they pay out of Bad Boys Fund, right? That is a Rico charge. That means that he had used Bad Boys money to purchase prostitutes and drugs, which came from out of state to wherever he was at, therefore making it a federal charge. Therefore, using a conspiracy is when 2 or more people, so that meant it was more than 2 people, being his assistants, his security, his KK, his second in command, so on and so forth, Uncle Paulie. When they helped him, that's the conspiracy. When they got these substances back to him and committed the crime, and he paid them back out of Bad Boys money, that is the Rico, guys. It's no different than the mafia. The Rico charge was brought about by Rudy Giuliani back in New York. And it's really funny because they try to hit Rudy Giuliani with a Rico charge. But that was brought up for La Cosa Nostra, for the mafia, to say that it's basically a guilt by association charge. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is why in the mafia, right, when they had see, a lot of y'all too young to even understand this type of game that I'm spitting, man. A lot of y'all not well informed on this game that I'm spitting. It's too much for you. It's too deep. When they had the French connection, because the Italians, La Cosa Nostra, were the ones who brought heroin to New York City and flooded it back in the day. It was called the French Connection because it came out of France, okay? Now, the mafia, because you have the mafia boss who sits up there on top. You got the underboss. You got the consigliere, which is the counselor. Then you have your capos, you have your lieutenants, and you got the people up under them. Each one of them from the bottom every week has to kick up money to the next. They kick up money to the next level, and it eventually gets to the boss. So being in a mafia is a license to steal. And if you are a part of a mafia family, Bad Boy being a family, and you are committing crimes, which the mafia commits crimes of stealing and stuff like that, which Bad Boys committing their crimes, okay? And then they had to kick up money to the boss, right? For the crime family. In his case, he's doing this for Bad Boy. That makes it a Rico charge, y'all. It's real simple. People are undivided and undecided because you have a few black people on that jury, and some people don't. Guys, you got to be educated. Just because you're on the jury don't mean you're educated in law. Let's be honest. You could have a juror on there that ain't even graduated high school, man. They got an 8th grade education that work at 7-Eleven that can't even spell Rico. You dig what I'm saying? But like I said, Puffy has been found guilty on those other 4 charges, which means federally, I don't want to lie to y'all, but I think the minimum is 15 to 20 years on a lot of those charges. That means he has to do 90% of the time on those charges. And let's not forget, he gonna have some state charges coming too, y'all. So see, I'm here, man. Coach One Stack is here to educate y'all. I don't drop no bad content. I'm just here to let you know what's going on from my point of view, man. This ain't my first go round. This is what I do, man. I've been telling y'all from day one. Go back to day one, to all them videos. Go back to my 2.2 million views and 500,000 views, and everything I said, it has come to pass. I've given you guys nothing but good information. So now Diddy is he's in the hot seat, y'all. And now the biggest thing that you need to worry about now that they got Diddy and he's done and nobody came to help him, nobody ever spoke up on his behalf. Do you realize how much blackmail information that this man has? Remember, y'all, he still has those tapes. Those tapes belong to him. He got copies of those tapes. It's some tapes that they didn't even find. And because those tapes are legally his, Diddy has the right to release those tapes out into the world without any repercussion. Why is that? Because your Fourth Amendment right says, that's your Fourth Amendment right to be, secure in your home, your person. You dig what I'm saying? You got to know your amendments. You dig? So you have no expectation of privacy in someone else's house. And this is why Diddy can release these films, especially now once he's convicted. I don't know about you, man, but hey, let's put ourselves in Diddy's shoes. Let's put ourselves in Diddy's shoes, y'all. Okay, and we don't really want to put ourselves in his shoes because I don't think there's nobody watching this video right now that would trade places with Diddy. I know I wouldn't, not for all the tea in China. Can you dig it? Because, hey, man, Diddy is old, man. He's going to rot in the penitentiary, and they going to send him where the big boys at. He going to get all the BBC. He going to get all the baby oil. He going to get all the grape jelly, the syrup, the shampoo bottle, the everything. He going to get all the stuff he been wanting, man. So be careful what you ask for because you just might get it, right? He going to run into some people, man, that got gas pumps for eggplants. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he gonna get everything he want. And in prison, man, they don't like people people in prison, bro, they don't like people. They have a code. They don't like grapists. They don't like that. And people and pedos, they do not like that. So believe me when I tell you, he is gonna PC up and he's gonna get a little bit of his own medication. But back to what I'm saying. The point of this video is to let you know he has been found guilty. 4 charges. His head dropped in court. He's covering his face. He's sweating profusely. He ain't throwing no more love signs. See, when you was throwing them love signs in court, it makes you look cocky. See, the best thing that Diddy could have did after paying $20 million for an attorney, man, he could have paid me $20,000 and I could have told him how to dress for court. He should have had some glasses on. He should have been as humble as possible. He should have never cracked a smile in there. He shouldn't have been throwing heart signs when he left out of there. He should have been as humble as he could have possibly been. And that would have allowed him to maybe, because you don't always want to do it, but maybe even testify on his own behalf and sway the jurors and let them know yeah, I may be a freaky person in the bedroom, but it wasn't like that. You know, we had an arrangement, but it didn't happen like that. So you can't go back and do it now. He's guilty, y'all. So, but hey, man, if you like this video, man, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because, man, I air everything out, and we all about positivity, loving God, and most of all, telling the truth. Y'all have a good day. Be blessed.